The Family Life Kids Corner podcast is made possible by listeners like you.
Today's a special episode, Travis.
Aren't they all special, Joel? Well,
Yeah, this is special-er.
so what makes this one more special-er?
Let's listen in and find out.
And now, the Family Life Kids Corner presents the complete story of the life of King David.
Sam? I took a look at the script. Have you seen this thing?
No, I haven't even picked up the first page. That's just what it says on the front of the binder.
That's what it says on the front of the first binder.
First?
Yeah, you see all those on the couch?
All of those?
Yeah, there's a lot about King David in the Bible. We might have to be selective.
Hey guys, what's going on?
We were doing a drama script about David from the Bible, but we've stopped for some reason.
Yeah, is there a problem?
No, it's just that I didn't realize how much there was to cover. The script might run a little long.
Well, we don't have to mention everything that happened. We've already talked about David a lot this year.
We have?
Sure, we learned about how David was called by God to be the king of Israel, even though he was the youngest of lots of impressive brothers.
And the reason God made him king is because the first king of Israel, Saul, wasn't following God and was doing some pretty bad stuff.
Okay, so the kids know that part of the story. Did we cover the part with David playing the harp?
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Sounds like a good place to pick up the story. Page 16, line 14. Sam?
Okay. All right. Because God was displeased with Saul, he let a spirit of worry and discomfort settle upon him.
What am I going to do? God said that I'm not good enough for him, as if I wasn't trying.
Your Majesty?
What is it? Can't you see I'm busy being paranoid?
I can, your liege. I do believe God is sending this spirit upon you.
Oh, you think? And what, pray, do you suppose I should do about it?
They say music hath charm that soothes something or other. Why don't we just find a harp player so that when you have these issues, the harp player can play your sorrows away?
Make it so.
And so the king's advisors went and found the best harp player they could and brought him before the king.
Okay, boy, I've been told you can play. What's your name?
David, my lord.
Well, what are you waiting for? Play!
And as David played his harp, the king's heart was put at ease. From that time forward, whenever Saul felt the spirit return, he would call for David, and the music would bring rest to his troubled heart. But soon David would be helping solve another one of Saul's troubles. We now return to the Kids' Corner and the story of David.
Abridged version.
Right. As happened in those days, the enemies of Israel, the Philistines, rose up and went to war with Saul and his people. This time, however, they brought a hero with them, a massive man who stood well over everyone else, named Goliath.
All right, you servants of Saul. I'm here to make some trouble.
That guy is huge! Anybody want to take him on?
Yeah, take me on, you little shrimps. If I defeat your hero, you will all become our slaves. And if you beat me, we'll be yours!
Yeah. Hero. That's not me. Nope.
About this time, David showed up delivering food for his brothers who were in the army. And when he heard Goliath cursing God and his people, well, David didn't appreciate it.
Your god is so stupid. If he was a good god like Baal, you'd actually stand a chance.
Who does this giant think he is? Isn't anyone gonna stop him from mocking the God of our ancestors?
Hold on. So Goliath said that Israel should send out their hero to face him. Who was Israel's hero?
Well, it normally would have been Saul, the king. Saul wasn't a bad warrior. He had won many battles before, but since God had left him, he wasn't feeling as heroic anymore.
Lord King, I wish to speak with you.
Oh, it's you, David. Where's your harp?
I'm not here to play. I'm here to fight. Let me go face Goliath and take him down.
You? But you're just a boy. And Goliath has been killing men since before he was your age.
I may not be a soldier, but I am a shepherd. I have to keep my dad's sheep safe from the wild animals around here. With my staff, my sling, and even my bare hands, I have rescued sheep from lions and bears. And if they came at me, I killed them. And now I see my heavenly Father's sheep are in danger. And I will kill this giant in the same way because he has mocked God.
I see you are brave. and that God is with you. All right, go forth. But first, you need to be equipped for the battle.
And so Saul gave David his armor and sword, but David wasn't used to them. He could barely move. And so he gave the armor and weapons back to the king and set out with only his sling and his staff. On the way to battle Goliath, he stopped by a brook and picked out 5 stones that were perfect for throwing.
What's this? Some pretty little boy coming to face me? What's up, good looking? Coming to see what a real man looks like. Nice stick. I'm not a dog, you know. I'm not here to play fetch. May Baal turn your bones to salt, and may Dagon cause your father's animals to shrivel. Come here so I can feed you to the birds.
You think you're so strong with your weapons, but all I need is my God, the King of Kings. On this day, he will put your fate in my hands, and I will take your head. It is not me, but you and your army that will feed the birds this day. And it will be an example of the greatness of our God, who doesn't need weapons to win his battles. He's already won.
With that, the 2 combatants charged. David put a rock in his sling, spun it around, and fired it straight and true, hitting Goliath in the head, killing him on the spot. Ugh. Yeah, it gets pretty gross from here. True to his word, David took Goliath's head, and the whole kingdom of Israel celebrated his victory. Well, almost everyone.
Who didn't?
We'll find out right after this.
And now we return to more stories about David.
David had won a great victory over the Philistines, and everyone in the kingdom loved him, except for one.
David. All I hear about is this David guy.
What's the matter, Dad? Aren't you happy he beat Goliath? He's quite a kid, that David. God must be with him.
Jonathan, my son, you are very wise to see this. So why don't you take your wisdom somewhere else where it would be appreciated?
Hello, Your Majesty. Your servants told me you were in one of your moods.
Hey, David, we should hang out later.
Yeah, bye, Jonathan. Now then, I had been working on this new song, Your Majesty. It's all about how God is with me and has given me wisdom, victory, and...
Enough!
And with that, Saul jumped up and threw a spear at David, narrowly missing him.
I'll show you victory, you miserable little perfect...
But David escaped and stayed away for fear of his life.
I mean, can you blame me? The guy was trying to kill me.
And so it went. Now, Jonathan wasn't the only one of Saul's children who admired David. His daughter Michal was also head over heels for the young hero.
Wait, my name's Michael? Isn't that a boy's name?
My name's Sam. That's a boy's name.
Carry on.
My kids are goo-goo for this young upstart, David, which really gets on my nerves. As if I didn't have enough on my mind. But maybe I can take advantage of this situation. David, come here, dear boy.
Sure? We good?
Are we good? My boy, I have seen the way you look at my daughter, and even more, how she looks at you, am I right? So, I was thinking, how about you two get married?
Really, Daddy? You mean it? I get to marry the greatest man in Israel?
It's up to him.
I would be honored.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Now hold on. This isn't the tradition of the times. A groom must pay the father for his bride. And I think the best way to pay for my little blossom is to kill 200 Philistines for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I do hope you stay safe. War is such a dangerous thing.
But despite all of Saul's attempts to have David killed, David never got hurt. When David was sent into battle, he always won. When Saul tried to put David to death, David would escape, sometimes with the help of Michal and Jonathan.
I can't let my husband come to harm.
And David's my best friend. I don't know why my dad is doing this.
For the rest of his life, Saul hunted down David, trying to have him put to death. But time after time, God kept David from harm. Meanwhile, the Philistines, seeing their king was preoccupied, charged into the land, and in an especially brutal battle, both Saul and Jonathan were killed.
No! Not my king! Not my best friend!
Despite his sadness, David was then proclaimed king of God's people, and his reign would be different. And now, one last story in the Kids Corner's presentation of the life of King David.
So he's king now.
Yep, and though there was a lot of drama after King Saul died,
Drama?
well, yeah, a kingdom doesn't just switch hands without a lot of fighting and stuff.
Like what?
Well, there was this one guy that came to David saying,
Hail, my king. Your enemy Saul is dead, and Jonathan with him.
What? How?
Well, we were in the battle together, and King Saul told me to kill him. So I did, and brought you his crown and bracelets to prove it.
Now, the Bible tells us this wasn't true, so we can expect that this man thought that David would be very happy to reward the man who killed Saul. But he was very mistaken.
How could you have done this evil thing? God crowned him king. Don't you have any respect for that? You too shall die for your wickedness. Men, give him his reward.
Oops.
I see what you mean.
Yep. But after all that killing and fighting was over, David became king.
And Michal became queen?
That's right.
Nice.
Not long after that, King David and 30,000 of his men went on a special mission. They were bringing the tabernacle, the holy tent, the place that people went to worship God, to the capital city of Jerusalem.
And not just the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant too.
That's right. The holy chest were the 10 Commandments and other holy objects from the times of Moses, the place where God's presence was strongest. The symbol of God's goodness and power was coming to its home. And you might imagine there was great excitement, and though the Bible tells us of a few hiccups on the way, once the ark reached the city, the party really got started. There was dancing, there was singing. Everyone was praising God with all their hearts, especially David.
Praise the Lord with trumpets, with cymbals, tambourines, drums. Let everything that can make a noise do it. And don't forget to dance. Woohoo!
Now throughout the hubbub and hullabaloo, there was one woman who looked on with disgust, ashamed of her husband, the king.
Look at him out there. He's dancing so hard he can't keep his shirt on. Does he even know how a king is supposed to act? What will the help think?
What's the matter, Michal, my love?
Must you make a fool of yourself? You're making my servants blush with your shenanigans. And get your clothes back on.
Now listen here. I was worshiping God, the God that made me king. The one, may I remind you, that chose me instead of anyone from your family. I will keep praising God, and I won't stop. And the servants that you're so worried about will respect me for it.
After the celebration, David had a thought, and this thought troubled him.
How is it that I, a mere man, am living in a really nice palace, and the Ark of God is in a moth-eaten tent?
I have a word from the Lord, Your Majesty.
Oh, Nathan, the prophet. Does God have instructions for how to build his temple?
Sort of. He says, don't.
Don't?
He says that he will dwell in the tent as he has for as long as there's been an ark. He'll bring you victory and fame and peace from your enemies. When all is done and you, my friend, have died, I will make your son king, and he will build my house here on earth.
I will obey the Lord.
David went on to fight many battles, have many children, and for the most part, though he didn't always do things right, he was a good king. There are many other stories about David, and if you want to read them for yourself, check out the books of 1st and 2nd Samuel in your Bible.
So, we're done talking about David?
We can keep talking about him right after this.
Phew, that was a lot.
Yeah, and that was the short version. King David's got a lot about him in the Bible, that's for sure.
So, what did we miss, Mr. Bryan?
Oh, a lot. We didn't talk about David's mighty men, his General Joab and the mess there, and the rebellion of Prince Absalom, and then there was all those Psalms he wrote.
Wait, you're telling me that the whole book of Psalms were written by King David?
A lot of them were.
Wow. But I have to ask, why are we learning about David today?
Do we have to have a reason, Olin? It's part of the Bible.
Yeah, if it's in the Bible, it's got to be important enough to learn about.
While I'd agree with that point, a little bit of applicability doesn't hurt.
A little what?
He means that if the story is just a story, then it doesn't change anything. What can we learn from the story?
I asked first.
Well, I think from a lot of what we heard, David was really committed to loving God and trusting him with everything.
Yep. God calls David a man after his own heart, which is pretty high praise coming from God himself. It means that though he had faults, we can look at his life, his fearlessness when standing up to evil, his kindness to those who needed protection, and his passionate cries to God when he was filled with emotions. And we can let that be an example of what living for God really looks like.
Kind of like when we look at the life of his descendant, the perfect man, and the eternal king.
Jesus?
Exactly.
Well, I better go. This was fun, though.
Yeah, tons of fun. Are we doing it again next week?
Oof, I hope not. I'll be happy to have Mr. Jacobs back. Want to get the radio before you head out, kids?
I'll get it. Thanks for listening to the Kids Corner podcast. If you had fun listening, be sure to share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can join us every week. The Kids Corner and other Family Life podcasts are made possible by your financial support. Learn more at familylife.org.